Hey, what's up, good people? How you doing? Hey, you're new to the page. You already know what to do. Go ahead and hit the like, subscribe, notification bell. The President of the United States is soon to speak about a ban on Russian oil. Let me go here so I don't miss it. I don't want you guys to miss anything that's said. Anything I say is not a suggestion for you to buy, hold, or sell. Excuse me. I was eating a late breakfast and decided to go live. All right. So we'll cut the audio in. I have it up here right now. We'll cut the audio in as soon as I see them break in. Right. Man, president is always late. It's not good. Not good. Always late though, but I understand there's a lot for them to take care of. Let's do a mic check. Let's do a house check. Who we got in the house? Who we got in the house? You said sleeping today. Oh, bless you too. Bless you too. No one, man, unless you do this. I was talking to Mo and Keenan Grace, and man, unless you do this, you have no idea. Like you're never off. It's your own 24/7. I really haven't had I haven't had a 3 day break in 2 years. I've been on this every single day. Even when I had surgery, I had the computer in my bed after surgery in 2020. Man, it's nonstop. But we do what we got to do to keep you guys, to keep you guys up to date because we know you guys have your money in the markets, and so do we. And we just want to help to try to lead this generation into financial freedom. All right. I'm going to keep looking like this, like I got warrants, but I'm looking at the other screen to make sure. Who else we got? Who else we got in the house today? Where y'all at? Morning. How you doing? Good morning. Hey, hey, look at there. How you guys doing? Yep. Yeah. Um, you know, we good morning. We got to see what this announcement is truly going to do to the market. The markets have just been doing whatever they want to do. We get companies get good news, market tanks. Company gets bad news on earnings report, markets like it's just all over the place these days. Just when you thought you've seen a bottom, that's the thing about a bear market. There's a new bottom, and you just don't know what a bottom is, and that's what a bear market does. And so, for those of you that are following, you guys know that I am dollar cost averaging through all of this with my three portfolios, my $5 a day challenge. Who out there is taking the $5 a day challenge? Remember, you can pick your own stock. You could pick one, two, three, four, five stocks of your own. Some people are doing $5 a day. Some people are doing 10, 20, 30 a day. It all depends. Who out there is doing it? Who out there is buying $5 a day through this? Good morning. Because that's how we're going to build wealth, good people. We have to do what's tough when it's tough, right? So that means that we got to buy red when it's extremely red. If it's a good company, that's when we buy, right? And so this is the time. Yeah, 50 a week. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Hey, Westchester in the building. Yep. Yep. Butler, you doing that? Hey, I'm telling you guys, just if you are scared of this market, which I know a lot of you are, and that's understandable. If you, hey, that's right. That's right. If you don't know, if you cannot, good morning, people. If you cannot stomach red, then this market is not for you. This market is This market is going to have its way with your emotions. This is the time for you to literally disengage, your emotions. Put your emotions in neutral right now, because now is the time to build wealth. This is the season that I've been talking about since last year. When you hear me say that millionaires are made in bull markets, but billionaires are made in bear markets. In this bear market, there were a lot of whales that pulled out, right? And they locked in their profits. But what else is going to happen is a lot of these whales are going to start buying in once they see coast is clear. So you got a lot of liquidity that's out of the market, right? A lot of liquidity has pulled out of the market, and that's causing volatility. The lack of liquidity causes volatility, right? But what's going to happen is when when this liquidity sees, which is all of this investor money, sees and thinks that the coast is clear, you're going to have all of this influx of cash or liquidity, which is going to cause the markets to run up. And so no one has a crystal ball. No one knows exactly what that is. All right, man, they are late. So when the president comes on, I'm just going to air. I'm going to air it live. As you guys see here, I'm going to air it through CNBC. Okay. So what do we got here? That's it. Look at that. I don't look at my total. It's too far down. Man, let me tell you something. I got to keep it real. I got one play that I'm doing an option play, but I got it far out. I was so far down yesterday. I looked at it and I was just looking at that number. I was thinking about that's how much I used to make in a year. And that it was, way back then. And, these are the times, and I know that that's going to come back in a short period and I'm going to make profit on it. So I got it so far out. But these are the times when you actually have to buy more. And so what I did, I actually bought more because it's a solid company. I want you guys to just look at solid companies that have not changed. Their fundamentals have not changed, but the market itself has changed. So what do you think is going to happen to these solid companies that are fundamentally sound? All right. Even Meta, even Facebook, as beat down as it is, look at it. Remember, we were trying to get it under $200. As beat down as it is, where do you think Meta is going to be in 2, 3, 4, 5 years from now? Okay, you look at these solid companies. Where you think Tesla's going to be 2, 3 years from now, 4 years from now? What do you think Disney's going to be? What do you think Microsoft is going to be? What do you think these golden companies are going to be? These blue chip companies, where do you think they're going to be? And so if you don't have any money in solid blue chip companies or growth companies that are solid, then now's the time to consider dollar cost averaging in and not going all in, but simply start to nibble. Okay, nibble. And what I'm doing is I'm doing the same amount weekly. Even in my Coinbase, good people, I have it where I'm buying. I have an automatic buy on Bitcoin weekly. I have it where I buy the same amount weekly. The one thing I like about Coinbase is you could set it and forget it. If you don't have Coinbase and you don't have anything platforms to trade with, make sure you check out the links below. Okay, check out my Webull link and check out my Coinbase link. But I also have some weekly buys on Solana. I also have some weekly buys on Polygon. All right, those are the ones I have weekly buys on. Now the other ones Crow and all of those. Those are the ones that I just go in and buy. But there's some plays that I have just set on a weekly buy. Good morning. Charge Point is another one. Josh and I bought some more Volta and I bought some more Charge Point. I bought some more Volta yesterday and this morning and some more Charge Point yesterday and this morning because this is, and yeah, Apple was one of those companies. So look at Apple right quick. Look at Apple, all right? Where do you think Apple's going to be 2, 3, 4, 5 years from now? These are the prices that we're going to look at and wish we had established some positions. Oh, look at here. Look at that. All of the companies I just mentioned, Meta, look at that. Amazon, Apple, Microsoft. These companies are not going anywhere, good people. These are solid companies. They're all in the AI. These companies will make you money. It's just that simple. All right. What else we got here? Let's see here. Loss. Yes. Why are you going to take a 60% loss? Just add new money to your investments. I agree. Look at Lucid again, good people. Look at Lucid. Let's hear what he's saying for a minute.
Of course, being one of the older of these companies, is going to have a big chunk of the market. In fact, I did a little exercise where I took all of these EV companies and I estimated what their revenues would need to be 10 years out to justify their pricing. And then I added up all the revenues. And the problem I'm facing is you need 120% market share of a market that, even if every car sold is an electric car, the question you got to ask is where are all these cars going to be sold that can justify all these companies being priced at the levels they are? So collectively, I think that they're overvalued. Doesn't mean every one of them is overvalued, but I think that collectively people are just using that big market argument and being a little lazy about asking micro questions. In general, I think macro investing, when you tell a big story about AI or cloud or EV and that invest in every company in that space, it's a recipe for disaster.
And how much of this, Oswath, do you think is people valuing one company based on another instead of based on fundamentals? And it feels to me like a lot of these are, look how well Tesla's doing. Well, here's the next Tesla, never bothering to ask, why is Tesla valued that way in the first place? Should it be? Is it unique?
Hey, let's talk about that for a minute. And actually, the gentleman is right as far as evaluations, right? Tesla has been the stock that's literally everybody has tried to short Tesla over and over and over and over and over again. And what have they done over and over and over and over again? They've lost money. Tesla is not just a car company. It isn't. Tesla is an energy company. It's a car company. They have satellites that for those of you that didn't know, they're boring tunnels underground. They filed for to be an energy company in Texas. Tesla is, I drove a Tesla a month ago. 3 weeks ago. And I went into one of the Tesla factories where they had some shingles, roofing shingles. The president hasn't come out yet. And these roofing shingles are going to generate energy. So where I do disagree with this gentleman is you cannot put an evaluation on Tesla like it's Ford. What does Ford manufacture? Cars. Tesla manufactures a lot. But having said that, he's right in the fact that you can't value all of these companies just alike, all of these EV car companies just alike. So he is right. So start to look at the PE values, especially in charging stations. Now, here's where I think things are undervalued, and that is in the charging stations because the demand of what's needed. We need here in America 500,000 charging stations, is what we need to even to have the infrastructure to so EVs can grow. So I'm actually heavier in the stations right now than I am in the vehicles themselves. You may think differently, but that's where I am. All right. I'm about 60. I'm about 64, 65, 45 is where I am. If that calculates up correct, y'all help me out. All right. What do we got here? Since they are wasting so much time. Yeah, man. Airlines and cruises are getting beat down. I bought some more Norwegian, and we need a recession. Huh. Yeah, this has been a topic of discussion. This has been so thanks Joe for this comment. This has been a topic of discussion. Um, in cycles, sometimes recession kind of just brings everything that's overinflated. Reality sets in when that happens and it resets the house. That is true. I know, it's just like, hey, if you got cancer, sometimes they gotta shoot you with poison. They got to shoot you with poison to kill the cancer, but they're actually shooting you with poison. So this is a recession is kind of like that. It's a necessary evil is what they call it, a necessary evil, but sometimes it's needed. So I would have to agree with you there, but it's tough. Hey guys, go ahead and hit that like button for me. Help keep me going. Let's see. President, not yet. Nope. He said, "Old man Joe is always late." Wait a minute. How can I get this thing to? He's old man Joe always late. That's so true. Oh my goodness. You said, huh? I don't know what that is. All right. Y'all, man, y'all leave Joe alone. Y'all stop it with the Joe. Y'all stop. Steve, behave, man. Y'all crazy. Oh my goodness. All right. Let's see here. Would you recommend trying to accumulate some dry powder to pick up stocks? Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Because as you can see, that's a good question. Dry powder is never a bad idea, all right? Because just think about it. I mean, 3 times now we've seen a new bottom. And then just when you think, remember starting on the 27th, January 27th, then, the Russia invasion, boom, new bottom. Then the attack on the nuclear plant, boom, new bottom. We just keep hitting new bottom after new bottom and after new bottom. And the truth be told, if you had cash stacked up, some fresh powder, you can buy these bottoms. But here's the problem, good people. You won't know when we've hit the bottom, the final bottom. And that's why in these times, dollar cost averaging is the best way now that we've hit all of these bottoms. The fact of the matter is, and I said this earlier in the year, is that everything that we've gained in 2020 and 2021, all of our gains from 2021 and 2020 has been taken away. The market was pumped up. It was inflated. The Feds didn't create inflation. COVID did. But the Feds just fanned the flame with the spending. It's got to the point where, let's face it, even at last check, everybody was like, really? Another check? Nobody gave it back though. Everybody's like, I'll take it. But the truth of the matter is it was way too much. And then they kept using the word transitory. Then they retired the word. So now they got to go the other way because it was endless printing of money. All right, let's see here. Po Joe. Man, y'all killing it with the Joe. Man, why y'all on Sleepy Joe, man? Y'all leave Joe alone, okay? Y'all, let's let him see what he said. All right. Where we at? Yeah, I know. I'm waiting myself. Yep. Well, thank you. Fresh from the cleaners. Thank you. How do you dollar cost average? Okay. For those of you that don't know, I will say there is no one way, but here's one of the ways you dollar cost average is you look at the playlist that I have. Just go to my page and Google, just Google Larry Jones $5 a day challenge, and that's going to explain it all. But what dollar cost averaging is right now, I would start with I would start with four if you're new and you don't know. With just solid companies, like an Apple, like a Microsoft, like Nvidia, those like are some solid plays, right? It's just solid companies, okay? And what I would do according to when you get paid, make it easy for yourself. According to when you get paid is how I would dollar cost average. If you get paid every Friday, then take the amount of money that you don't need for your bills, that you won't need for the next 10 years. Like, this is not money that you're going to need. So you take some money and you buy the same amount of shit. You spend the same amount of money every week. If you get paid bi-monthly, you do it bi-monthly. If you get paid monthly, you do it monthly, and you buy those same stock at the same amount. Let's say you want to invest $100 a week. So I would take 4 to 5 solid plays, just start with 4, and on every time you get paid, let's say you get paid on a Friday and you got $100 a week to invest, then I would take that $100 and buy $25 per stock. And you say, hey, yeah, but these prices are all over the place. What you could do is you can buy fractional shares. Now, a lot of brokers don't offer fractional shares, and some of them make it difficult. But I do know Fidelity does it extremely well. So download Fidelity, go to www.fidelity.com, download that, get into that. And if you're of a certain age, I would start doing that in a Roth IRA. Call them. They will walk you through it right over the phone to open it up. So what a Roth IRA does is it allows you, if you're under 50, to deposit $6,000 a year. If you're over 50, it allows you to deposit $7,000 a year. So that's what's called pre-taxed money. If you keep that amount of money in that portfolio until the age of 59, and you have to keep it for a minimum of 5 years, then when you pull that money out, it's a retirement fund. When you pull that money out, you will not be taxed on the gains at that time. So you have to ask yourself, are taxes going to be higher then or now? Taxes are going to be much higher then. And the biggest threat to people that retire, the biggest threat to a retirement fund is taxes. All right? Because those taxes are just ridiculous. You got inflation and taxes. Okay. Hopefully that helped a lot of you guys. And if you're listening to me and you're over 30, you need to have a Roth IRA. All right. All right. Yes. Can't wait to meet you either, Samuel Sanders. I appreciate you, brother. Yep. All right. Hey, we getting this done. Larry, thank you so much for your guidance. Yep. Dollar cost averaging. Create that wealth. Do the TV. Do the TV. De-woo the TV. Create that generational wealth. Hey, if I could redo things again, if I could just turn back the hands of time right now, I would have never married my first wife. Let me stop. I would literally take, but I got 2 beautiful kids out of that, so I can't say that. 2 beautiful kids. I love my daughters. I would start day one by investing 10% of my income. I would invest 10%. Anybody listening to me and you're just starting work, if you want to become a millionaire in the shortest period of time, take 10% of your income and invest it. Pay yourself first. If you do that, as a matter of fact, I would plan all of my other living around there. I literally would plan how much rent I can afford, when I could go out and all of that around that 10%. Looks like the president is coming. Here we go, good people.
Make the first announcement, and then they're going to be announcing after that.
Today, I'm announcing the United States is targeting the main artery of Russia's economy. We're banning all imports of Russian oil and gas and energy. That means Russian oil will no longer be acceptable at U.S. ports, and the American people will deal another powerful blow to Putin's war machine. This is a move that has strong bipartisan support in the Congress and, I believe, in the country. Americans have rallied to support the Ukrainian people and made it clear we will not be part of subsidizing Putin's war. We made this decision in close consultation with our allies and our partners around the world, particularly in Europe, because a united response to Putin's aggression has been my overriding focus, to keep all NATO and all of the EU and our allies totally united. We're moving forward with this ban, understanding that many of our European allies and partners may not be in a position to join us. The United States produces far more oil domestically than all the European countries combined. In fact, we're a net exporter of energy. So we can take this step when others cannot. But we're working closely with Europe and our partners to develop a long-term strategy to reduce their dependence on Russian energy as well. Our teams are actively discussing how to make this happen, and today we remain united. We remain united in our purpose to keep pressure mounting on Putin and his war machine. This is a step that we're taking to inflict further pain on Putin, but there will be cost as well here in the United States. I said I would level with the American people from the beginning. And when I first spoke to this, I said defending freedom is going to cost. It's going to cost us as well in the United States. Republicans and Democrats understand that. Republicans and Democrats alike have been clear that we must do this. Over the last week, I've spoken with President Zelensky several times to hear from him about the situation on the ground and to consult and continue to consult with our European allies and about U.S. support for Ukraine and the Ukrainian people. Thus far, we've provided more than $1 billion in security assistance to Ukraine. Shipments of defensive weapons are arriving in Ukraine every day from the United States, and we, the United States, are the ones coordinating the delivery of our allies and partners of similar weapons, from Germany to Finland to the Netherlands. We're working that out. We're also providing humanitarian support for the Ukrainian people, both those still in Ukraine and those who have fled safely to a neighboring country. We're working with humanitarian organizations to surge tens of thousands of tons of food, water, and medical supplies into Ukraine, and with more on the way. Over the weekend, I sent Secretary Blinken to visit our border between Poland and Ukraine and to Moldova to see what the situation was firsthand and report back. General Milley, chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff of our Defense Department, was also in Europe, meeting with his counterparts and allies on NATO's eastern flank to reassure them, those countries bordering Russia, NATO countries, that we will keep our NATO commitment, a sacred commitment of Article 5. The Vice President Harris is going to be traveling to meet with our allies in Poland and Romania later this week as well. I've made it clear that the United States will share in the responsibility of caring for the refugees so the costs do not fall entirely on the European countries bordering Ukraine. And yesterday I spoke with my counterparts in France, Germany, and the United Kingdom about Russia's escalating violence against Ukraine and the steps that we're going to take together with our allies and partners around the world to respond to this aggression. We are enforcing the most significant package of economic sanctions in history, and it's causing significant damage to Russia's economy. It has caused Russian economy to, frankly, crater. The Russian ruble is now down to 50%, by 50% since Putin's announced his war. 1 ruble is now worth less than 1 American penny. 1 ruble is less than 1 American penny. And preventing Russia's central bank from propping up the ruble and to keep its value up. They're not going to be able to do that now. We cut Russia's largest banks from the international financial system, and it has crippled their ability to do business with the rest of the world. In addition, we're choking off Russia's access to technology like semiconductors that are and sap its economic strength and weaken its military for years to come. Major companies are pulling out of Russia entirely without even being asked, not by us. Over the weekend, Visa, MasterCard, American Express, they all suspended their services in Russia, all of them. Joining a growing list of American and global companies from Ford to Nike to Apple, they've suspended their operations in Russia. The U.S. Stock Exchange has halted trading of many Russian securities. And the private sector is united against Russia's vicious war of choice. The U.S. Department of Justice has assembled a dedicated task force to go after the crimes of Russian oligarchs. And we're joining with our European allies to find and seize their yachts, their luxury apartments, their private jets, and all their ill-begotten gains to make sure that they share in the pain of Putin's war. These, by the way, are giant yachts. You've put some of them in your press. I mean, some of them are, I think I read one was over 400 feet long. I mean, this is worth hundreds of millions of dollars. The decision today is not without cost here at home. Putin's war is already hurting American families at the gas pump. Since Putin began his military buildup on Ukrainian borders, just since then, the price of the gas at the pump in America went up 75 cents. And with this action, it's going to go up further. I'm going to do everything I can to minimize Putin's price hike here at home. In coordination with our partners, we've already announced that we're releasing 60 million barrels of oil from our joint oil reserves. Half of that, 30 million, is coming from the United States. And we're taking steps to ensure the reliable supply of global energy. We're also going to keep working with every tool at our disposal to protect American families and businesses. Now, let me say this. To the oil and gas companies and to the finance firms that back them, we understand Putin's war against the people of Ukraine is causing prices to rise. We get that. That's self-evident. But, it's no excuse to exercise excessive price increases or padding profits or any kind of effort to exploit this situation or American consumers, exploit them. Russia's aggression is costing us all, and it's no time for profiteering or price gouging. I want to be clear about what we'll not tolerate, but I also want to acknowledge those firms and oil and gas industries that are pulling out of Russia and joining other businesses that are leading by example. This is a time when we have to do our part and make sure we're not taking advantage. Look, let me be clear about 2 other points. First, it's simply not true that my administration or policies are holding back domestic energy production. That's simply not true. Even amid the pandemic, companies in the United States pumped more oil during my first year in office than they did during my predecessor's first year. We're approaching a record levels of oil and gas production in the United States, and we're on track to set a record of oil production next year. In the United States, 90% of onshore oil production takes place on land that isn't owned by the federal government. And of the remaining 10% that occurs on federal land, the oil and gas industry has millions of acres leased. They have 9,000 permits to drill now. They could be drilling right now, yesterday, last week, last year. They have 9,000 to drill onshore that are already approved. So let me be clear. They are not using them for production now. That's their decision. These are the facts. We should be honest about the facts. Second, this crisis is a stark reminder to protect our economy over the long term, we need to become energy independent. I've had numerous conversations over the last 3 months with our European friends of how they have to wean themselves off of Russian oil. It's just not tenable. It should motivate us to accelerate the transition to clean energy. This is a perspective that our European allies share, and the future where together we can achieve greater independence. Loosening environmental regulations or pulling back clean energy investment won't, let me expand, will not lower energy prices for families. But transforming our economy to run on electric vehicles powered by clean energy, with tax credits to help American families winterize their homes and use less energy, that will help. And if we do what we can, it will mean that no one has to worry about the price of the gas pump in the future. That'll mean tyrants like Putin won't be able to use fossil fuels as weapons against other nations. And it will make America a world leader, manufacturing and exporting clean energy technologies of the future to countries all around the world. This is the goal we should be racing toward. Over the last 2 weeks, Ukrainian people have inspired the world, and I mean that in a literal sense. They've inspired the world with their bravery, their patriotism, their defiant determination to live free. Putin's war has caused enormous suffering and needless loss of life of women, children, everyone in Ukraine, both Ukraine and, I might add, Russians. Ukrainian leaders, as well as leaders around the world, have repeatedly called for a ceasefire, for humanitarian relief, for real diplomacy. But Putin seems determined to continue on his murderous path, no matter the cost. Putin's now targeting cities and has been targeting cities and civilians, schools, hospitals, apartment buildings. Last week, he attacked the largest nuclear power plant in Europe with an apparent disregard for the potential of triggering a nuclear meltdown. He has already turned 2 million Ukrainians into refugees. Russia may continue to grind out its advance at a horrible price, but this much is already clear. Ukraine will never be a victory for Putin. Putin may be able to take a city, but he'll never be able to hold the country. And if we do not respond to Putin's assault on global peace and stability today, the cost of freedom and to the American people will be even greater tomorrow. So we're going to continue to support the brave Ukrainian people as they fight for their country. And I call on Congress to pass the $12 billion Ukraine assistance package that I have asked them for of late. Ukrainian people are demonstrating by their physical courage that they are not about to just let Putin take what he wants. That's clear. They'll defend their freedom, their democracy, their lives. And we're going to keep providing security assistance, economic assistance, and humanitarian assistance. We're going to support them against tyranny, oppression, violent acts of subjugation. People everywhere, and I think it's maybe even surprised some of you all, people everywhere are speaking up for freedom. And when the history of this war is written, Putin's war on Ukraine will have left Russia weaker and the rest of the world stronger. And God bless all those heroes in Ukraine. And now I'm off to Texas. Thank you very, very much. I know there's a lot of questions. I know there's a lot of questions, but there's a lot more that has to be made clear, and I'm going to hold on that until we get more information. Thank you. Appreciate it.
That is the president announcing the U.S. ban on Russian oil and gas, pointing out the economic pressure that's already been put on Russia. He threw in there some of the economic sanctions we know about.
Yep. So there we got it, good people. Listen, number one, hey, we don't use certain language here. We're a positive community here. For those of you that are new, we don't get down like that. You can go to another page. You can unsubscribe, whatever. We just don't get down like that. We're here to make money. As a matter of fact, the only reason why I aired this is because we need to know what's happening with our money. And this affects everything. This affects, everything. I'm trying to look at what the market was doing before and after the president speaks. So I want you guys to get in the habit of doing that. Whenever something is going to move a market or you think something's really big is about to happen, this is what I do. I take pictures, all right? Let's look at it. Okay. All righty. Here we go. So this was right when he started talking. The Dow was negative 157, NASDAQ 100 negative, S&P negative 30. And then after he finished, look at that. So it actually went down. Okay, see here, before, look at the NASDAQ, S&P, and Dow. And then after he finished talking, this is where it was. Of course, oil is spiking, right? Exxon, Chevron, BP, Phillips, those are spiking because they will make money. So the market takes another hit, yet another blow. And as you can see here, the Dow is down 180, S&P negative 36, NASDAQ negative 144. So these are sanctions that's going to cost the average American more money. There's hearsay that Europe might kind of follow suit, but we don't know. We're only discussing this as it pertains to our money, right? You know, I will just say, I'm going to end by saying this. In times like these, you're going to have a lot of stuff that comes out. And yes, we do know that there's going to be a lot of propaganda. There's going to be a lot of fake news. But one thing that we know for sure, and that war is not good. One thing that we know for sure is always the innocent people that pay for war. And for those of you that don't like me speaking out against a bloody war, go ahead and unsubscribe. I don't care. War is not good because you and I are the ones that pay the price. And, you know, there are millions of Russian citizens that are great people. There's thousands of, even in this, though, you know, Putin started this war, there are the Russian people don't want this, right? And there's people out there in Russia that are going to jail for protesting, knowing that their lives are in danger. So we need to pray for them. We need to pray for Ukraine. We need to pray for the Ukrainian people. We need to pray for Poland and all of these other countries, like the Polish women that's coming to the train stations and leaving baby carts. We need to pray for those are acts. Those are what I call salt of the earth people that are doing the work, what's necessary. So a lot of us say we love, but we don't show love. And those people are showing love. So let's pray for all of these innocent people, because at the end of the day, it's a handful of wicked leaders. And we have them here in the United States too. It's a handful of wicked leaders that's causing all of this chaos. All right, good people. So, hey, we're going to leave it right there. And we're going to see what becomes of it, okay? We're going to monitor everything. And I'm going to try to keep you guys abreast on everything that I can, all right? I'll see you probably later on today. Hey, make sure you check out all the links below. And if you don't have a trading platform. But I love you guys. I didn't plan on this. I just wanted to keep you guys, you know, up on what's happening. If you're in oil, you're making good money. If you're in everything else, it's another bloodbath, right? But remember this. Just remember this. The longer you keep dollar cost averaging while this red is going on, I don't care if it goes all the way to the end of this year and we just keep getting low and low and low and low. I want you to remember this. The longer you dollar cost average through this, the more money you're going to make over the next 5 years. The lower you buy a stock or a crypto, the less risk you have. The higher you buy it, the higher risk you have. The lower you buy a stock or a crypto, the less volatility you have. The less volatile your positions are. The higher, the more volatile they are. And so this is the time to be brave and to do what's difficult, because you're going to build wealth at a rate that you could never do, even working your job, trading time for money. All right? I'm going to leave it right there, good people. I love you guys. Love each and every one of you. And pray for, yes. That's what we're talking about. Okay? Okay? Love you too. All right, good people. I'm going to leave it there. You know what? You know what? I don't know if it'll play. I'm going to try to play the, no, I'm not going to play that. It's not acting right. Hey, I love you guys. I'm gonna sign off right here. Live, love, laugh, and learn. We'll see you later.